Hi there, this is Katie Robinson Edwards, your UMLAUF curator, bringing you something very, very special tonight. We are in Charles Umlauf's studio here above the museum, overlooking Barton Springs Road. This is a place that nobody has access to except for the UMLAUF staff, and even that is very rare. But we wanted to bring you a very special UMLAUF After Dark tonight, featuring Daphne Tunes, who you'll see in just a moment and hear from. This is the first of our Studio 506, where we bring you UMLAUF After Dark musical talent from Charles Umlauf's studio. This is an incredibly special place. I think you can see around me. We're going to tell you a little bit more about it soon, but Charles Umlauf had this studio built in 1950, and it was the first time he had a studio by himself his entire life, and he worked here for 34 years in this studio. I will tell you a little bit more about it and introduce a couple of special guests, but the first very special guest is Mr. Santiago Dici, also known as Daphne Tunes, who you may know from a number of bands, and he's going to be bringing us 3 songs in just a moment. So let's welcome everybody, if we don't mind. Welcome, Daphne Tunes.
Hello, thank you for having me. This is a fun and new way to do this sort of concert experience. My name is Santiago, and I play in a band called Daphne Tunes. All my life I've been at your door to ask you what you needed from me most. I was only hoping to be there, see ya, help out where I could. All my life I've been honest, at your beck and call. This anything you want. Seems that I'm just haunting you from this garbage. Scared you when I could. I should tell you, but then would I be probably not in your good company? I should tell you, but then would I be in your good graces someday company? All my life I've been on it, but since the day I came back, something's been in the way. Something hard to say with the sea of judgment. Get away from him. I should tell you, but then would I be probably not in your good company? I should tell you, but then would I be in your good graces someday company? All my life I've been trying to maybe catch your eye and talk about your day. Wean the time away with the sunset, humid lake for living good. We've got a omniscient studio audience tonight, and very nice group of folks here, all safely social distancing. It's great to see. You love to see it. I have been, as an Austinite for my whole life, I've been coming to UMLAUF since I was a little kid, so this is a really fun experience. And I almost feel not deserving, even if I am from here, to be in this studio space, because my mom, who is an artist and pro ceramicist, even if she wouldn't give herself the credit, has definitely a bit more appreciation for this place than I do. Not that I don't, of course, but she's just more of a head than I am when it comes to this stuff. But this is such a special and cool spot. I wanted to choose a few songs that felt more evocative of a slower time in Austin. So I chose some of my softer songs tonight. And this is one that I wrote with another Texas-based artist, Hannah Reed, who plays in a band called Lamelda. It's called Now That You're New. I can't even see it, though I'm staring at it. I'm looking through my cabinets, can't break the habit of you. We're always dreaming, forming, not completing. Thoughts are always climbing, head a rising sun. Eager to please, happy to stay, losing your leads, shifting your way, sowing seeds. Now that you're new, now that you're new, now that you're new. Changing up the paces, mixing up the spaces, losing half the pieces, finding where my piece is. I can't even see it, though I'm staring at it. I'm looking through the cabinets, can't break. In Texas blue, doctors with dreadlocks, billboards with bad art, and traffic on every block. I never matched my socks much, and 6 hours with lunch is just enough work for us. I hope you find the time to visit. 'cause after the county line, the chips don't fall with mine. The cowboys don't look at me. Been stuck in a bubble from Buda to Hutto. At least I'm not some freak here. Let's live idle lives, become spiritualized, and jumping from lie to lie. And I think I'll stay here and live for a few years, but always come back to you. I hope you find the time to visit. Ooh, 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 ooh. Wow, wow. Ooh, ooh. Thanks. And I'd love to turn it back over to you, Katie, our curator here for UMLAUF Studio, for a few more words. And just a few words here to begin. If you are interested in donating to the cause, we'll talk a little bit more about that. But also, if you're interested in tipping, you're welcome to do that via Venmo. And my handle's at Daphne-Tunes. Katie?
Thank you, Santi. That was spectacular. And as our audience can see, we are very safely social distancing here. It's a shame because we want to be right in that beautiful space where Daphne is playing so gorgeously. And thank you for the reminder. We would love your support, both for the UMLAUF. All museums are having a really hard time. The UMLAUF is no exception. We'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a minute. But also for the artists. Musicians are having a terrible time because they cannot play for the public right now. So please, we've got a lot of things scrolling across your screen. Please donate to Daphne Tunes. That would really help a lot. And I want to say a couple of things. First of all, if we could have a little Zoom, perhaps. This spot where one thing that we want to tell you about something very special about the UMLAUF studio, some of you may know that Charles Umlauf's most famous student ever was Farrah Fawcett. And you know her as an actress, but you might not have known that she worked in this studio. She was an artist as well and a sculptor, took classes with Charles Umlauf. And actually, this photograph is taken right in this space. So that's pretty cool. She worked here. That's a little bit of interesting information about the studio. But I also wanted to introduce you to somebody very special. The UMLAUF has a brand new senior development manager, Ms. Jessica West Burford.
Oh, thank you, Katie.
Welcome, Jessica, everybody.
Thanks,
Give a hand.
I always love being in this studio. It's such a treat to be able to come in here. It's a treasure in itself.
And you're wearing an artistic shirt. You fit perfectly here.
Reminiscent of spring break. I miss Marfa.
You came to the UMLAUF at a perfect time, right when we need you most.
It was kismet. The stars really aligned for all of us, I think.
And you have a very interesting history yourself, Jessica, because you have worked here before, many years ago.
I do, and even more of a personal connection than that. My parents met in the art school at UT in the late 60s when Farrah was there. And Charles Umlauf taught my mom life drawing. And so long ago in the early 2000s, when I had just, graduated and was getting my professional life going, my girlfriends and I started volunteering for this event called the Garden Party. And we painted pots to be auctioned at the garden party with little items inside. And eventually I started working here from 03 to 05 with Nayli Plord. A lot of people remember her. And, I have a friend who was a board president, and I made my way to UT for 12 years to work at Texas Development, but I saw that UMLAUF needed a development manager here, and I jumped at the chance to come back because I feel like I have skin in the game. This place is special to me. It's special to my friends. It's special to my family. And it really was the stars aligning for all of us because I think I got the experience to come back and know how to jump in the game and lead us through this hard time.
We are so happy to have you. It's been a real pleasure to work with you, and we're especially happy to have you right now because we need support.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the kind of losses that the UMLAUF has suffered during the coronavirus?
Everyone's struggling right now, and everyone has been struggling since the spring, since we had to shelter in place. But the arts especially, and the UMLAUF especially, we are a small institution, and we rely on private event rentals, and we rely on feet through the gate and through the garden, and we have not been able to have that for months. So we are at zero revenue right now. So we are relying on private support, corporate support. We're writing grant proposals like crazy. But we need some help because we are losing cash faster than we can bring it in. And so if anyone can support us in any way, there are hundreds of ways to support us. Visit our website and you'll find, I think, on the captions, beneath the page, marker, post, whatever you want to call it, so many ways. Join us as a member, give donations, talk to your friends and family about who might like to support us, in bigger ways, but every dollar counts.
It really does right now. It's a really hard time for the museum. We only have 6 full-time staff, and we're all dedicated toward trying to keep this place open and going. While we can't be open, the city has actually determined that we're not allowed to be open to the public right now. We'll let you know as soon as we can be, but that's also why we wanted to bring you something really special tonight from the UMLAUF studio, and we are so grateful to Santi and Daphne Tunes for being here as well. So don't forget to support your artists and your art as well. Shall we go back to Daphne now? And I want to leave you with a question related to the title Daphne Tunes. If anybody knows what Daphne Tunes refers to, I think you should answer it on our Facebook page right now, and we'll bake you some brownies. How's that? So go ahead and answer it on the post right now. I think it's a really cool name. And we're going to cut back to our artist. Take it away, Santi.
It's a pleasure to be here. For those of you tuning in, my name is Santiago. I play in Daphne Tunes. And this is a really, really special space. Next song is called Back. It's about moving, which is something.
this is hard for half the warmth to show of my mind to those who couldn't care less who I've been my entire life. Should I throw myself in the hands? Why should I throw myself in anyone's hands? No one tells you how they cried almost every single night in the city light. Every single night in the city light. In the city light.
Thanks, everybody. I hope your living room or your bedroom or wherever you're watching this right now is perfectly cozy. We certainly are here and very lucky to be hanging here. I wanted to bring along a little piece of Austin ephemera with me. So my mom handed me down her shirt from the Ann Richards for Governor of Texas campaign. And I figure, maybe Charles Umlauf wore a similar shirt. This one was made in 1990, so I think the studio is still fully operational when that happens. Big Ann Richards fan, whole family. This next song is a song we actually just released a video for last week. It's called Thinking on a Man.
To spend some time with you. Though we've been hanging out from time to time, who do you rely on? Is there someone in this life? No.
Do you want me to answer that question, by the way, Katie? Sure, why not? I don't think anybody actually knows the answer to this. But Daphne Tunes is actually based on the color Daphne blue, which is a color of guitar that Fender manufactured and is proprietary to the Fender guitar brand, which was my previous favorite guitar brand for all you people who are wondering out there. And it was a really influential color of blue for me, in the sense that, like, I've always been a big proponent of the color blue. It's always been my favorite, but that particular blue is like when you look at the sky and then you look away from the sky, and that sort of composite reddish, greenish blue reflects on a lot of your sort of like a white wall or something, and it was evocative of a very singular feeling of when I looked at the sky for too long. Rambling answer. But
I don't know if they can hear me, but that was a wonderful answer.
oh, great.
I
Perfect.
love it.
Also, I love Scooby-Doo, so there's that goes without saying. This next song is off a record we put out in October of 2019 called Volume 2, and it's called Always Been Q. But before I play it, I think I should tune up for just a moment.
It's always been you. Just took me a while to tell where my head lies. Bad news, it's bound to happen. It's just how you take it that tells me who to be. Bad dudes, they're bound to happen. Men are trash. Yeah, it's a sad truth. Could it be too? My judgment's been failing at the wrong time. Without you, hard to be. Hard to be, and you're wrong. There's nothing else at all. At all.
Thanks, everyone.
Let's start here.
I'm going to hand it back over to Katie, and then for those of you joining us again, make sure you look up online how to donate. There should be some scrolling information here on the screen for you. And yeah, our curator, Katie, would like to say a few more things for us. Handing it over.
Thank you, Santi. That was magnificent. You make this place sound super, super special. And thank you, Daphne Tunes. One and the same. I would like to, this will be our last talking section before we have Daphne Tunes take us away. So I'd like to tell you about a few things, and if it's okay, I'm going to shift over this way And we are in Charles Umlauf's studio. We thought this would be a super special thing to bring you tonight and show you some of the treasures that we have in the studio. Charles Umlauf was a sculptor first and foremost. He did draw all the time. He would often do a drawing as preliminary to a sculpture, but if he really needed to think about how to make a sculpture, he always thought in 3 dimensions. And so he would make what are called sketches in sculptures. And I want to show you a terracotta head. I think you may recognize the subject here, but this is actually a sketch for one of his many sculptures of Jesus Christ, which Charles Umlauf got a lot of religious commissions, particularly early in his career, and he always portrayed Christ in a really, to me, a very moving manner. He picked up on the human element, and so there's a beautiful study in terracotta. And another commission that Umlauf got is for the Virgin Mary, Maria Regina, and check out this absolutely gorgeous study. I don't know, I hope the light's good on that. And thank you, Megan, for running the camera today. This is Mary, Queen of Heaven. We have the full-size sculpture outside up at the Umlauf house in the private garden. But look at how absolutely gorgeous he makes her. And he gives a little hint of a diadem up here because she is crowned, and the most beautiful face. And also pay attention to these lips. This is something that Umlauf particularly liked, this part called the filtril of the face, very defined M. People often draw that on, maybe with lipstick. And you'll see that a lot in Umlauf's works. It was something that he thought signified beauty. Farrah Fawcett happened to have a very defined lips. You can even see a little bit in the drawing that he did. I mentioned that she worked in this studio and stayed friends with Umlauf his entire life. And there's something else we have in here, a bunch of tiny, beautiful little clay studies. And that's what it looks like from behind. And again, just a little way of practicing making a little head. If he was trying to work out what the female figure would look like for a larger sculpture, he would just work something up so quickly in his hands. You would not believe how fast he could work just to get the idea out. But also look at that beautiful lips on this figure as well.
I also noticed the cheekbones. He really admired high cheekbones, didn't he?
Absolutely. And so that's right. And so you see that here. In fact, Farrah Fawcett thought that she had Cherokee blood in her. I don't know if that's true or not.
Well,
and
my grandmother told me.
Is that right? Yeah. And then we have a couple of other very early pieces that I brought in just to show this gorgeous piece from the 40s in marble, very different style to show the wide range that Charles Umlauf had. And I think that's enough. We will bring you more treats from the studio in the future, but right now we really want to encourage you to donate. Please support the Umlauf. Please support Santi and Daphne Tunes. We are scrolling across your screen. You can write to us, ask us if you want to know how to donate, but there's lots of ways on our website, on Facebook, on Instagram, just to help us out. The tiniest amount helps both the museum and the musician, Daphne Tunes. And I would like to bring back in the wonderful Jessica West Burford to tell us a little bit. Do you think that we should donate to the Umlauf?
Oh, well, possibly. Well, I mean, this place is a treasure, and we have lost so many Austin institutions. Oh, we have lost so many Austin institutions since the pandemic begun. I mean, no more enchiladas at Dart Bowl, you know. But this is, I know. I laugh about that, but this isn't a place to laugh about losing. I mean, this is an institution where native Austinites and people from all over the world have been coming for almost 30 years, and we hope to get to our 30th anniversary, and we hope you'll help us get there.
Our 30th anniversary is 2021,
Yes.
So please help us stay strong so that we can be here for 30 years and donate.
And donate, and I can help you figure out the best way for you to donate, the way that means something to you and to your family, and maybe you can build a legacy here. Thank you.
And before we close out, I want to say thank you. There's actually a lot of people who kicked in to help today. Most especially Alex Morrison concocted this whole idea. And if we go to Alex just for a minute, she could give us her dead-eyed stare. Thank you, Alex. Yeah. Seriously, though, thank you, Alex, for all you did to pull everything together. And I also want to thank Alexander Ballard for donating his time and we have the most incredible setup here in the studio to make this happen. Yes.
Thank you.
And Megan Henderson, who's holding the camera. And most especially, thank you to Santi, Daphne. We would love it if you would play us out and take it away for the end of the show. Thank you. And now back to Daphne Tunes.
Hello again. This is such a fun. I've never been able to get panned to. I feel like I'm on a 3-camera sitcom right now. But there's nothing funny about tonight, okay, everyone? Just kidding. Please give us your money. I'm going to play a few more songs for you. This is a new one.
Don't know why, don't wanna pry. The more that I feel, the less I conceal from you. But now it gets crowded every time that I shout it. A thread in a sleeve, it's hard to see me. I wanted to help the moment I fell, so here on my shoulders, weigh me with boulders too. Things can take a lot longer, 'cause now all I got is time. Used to not be so easy to say, now you're all mine. Now my only complaint is why can't this last just a while? I want it so real, I'm willing to steal. The more that I try, the less it feels right to you. Things can take a lot longer, 'cause now all I got is time. will dream that someday you'll be good. But till I can see that you'd really care for me, I'll keep trying to hide the way I feel inside.
I'm gonna leave you guys with a song off that's it's a song called Signal, and it's all about sort of the interpersonal relationships that we develop with people just over spending close time with them. Even if we aren't friends with them, you just get to know somebody inevitably when you're so close to them, whether that's like a coworker or anything. And it's something I think about a lot about quarantine. Like, obviously I miss my friends in this pandemic, but I definitely also miss some of these natural connections you make with people just by being close to them. Before I go into it, actually, I just want to say thanks again to UMLAUF. It's a really special place, and the studio is just super duper special. It hasn't been seen by a lot of people, and just the fact that we get to be in here in the first place means a ton. So I just want to encourage everybody to follow the scrolling dialogue that you see here, and just throw your money, throw some of that $600 a week that you probably feed your family with, and you know, just think about your priority. Just kidding. I'm not gonna go there. My name is Santiago. We're called Daphne Tunes. You can also tip us, but don't worry about that. Donate to Charles Umlauf, his legacy, the UMLAUF Sculpture Garden, and all the people who keep it alive today. There's more than just Charles involved there, y'all.
Thank you, Santi.
Oh yeah, cheers.
Take me back somewhere off the map. Roll the windows down, laugh, rest your head. Take off your love, hang it out above. What's the point in acting tough? You fall apart. You get up, plus the evening hasn't even started. what you lost. You'll open that old lock. It's not as rusty as once you thought. Now our signals can really start.
Donate. All right. I'd love to learn a little bit more about another piece if possible. I don't know. Encore with art, artcore. Let's see, let's get some art. Artcore, maybe? I'd just like to learn a little bit more about this space. I feel like our listeners might want to as well. This is some impromptu stuff here. Katie, do you have anything else to talk about here in the building?
Sure.
Maybe some of the tools here? How do we make a sculpture? I'm throwing in some ad lib here.
I
I'm
love
sorry.
it. I will talk some more if you will play some
We're
more.
going off book, y'all.
Yeah, thank you. This has been, we are social distancing. This has been the coolest thing. Thank you so much, Daphne. And yeah, I have plenty more things to show you, including right in front of me, this mallet for helping to make sculpture. We have most of Charles Umlauf's tools here. We also have these really wonderful, I wonder if you can see some of these. We have a lot of his tools and his homemade sculpture stands. Umlauf had a different place in the studio for every tool, everything that he worked on, different little area if he was working with wood over here, or maybe over here working with wet clay. We've got this wonderful tool which actually helps you when you're working on clay, helps you cut off pieces of clay really quickly. As I've said, he was a master at that. And nothing else that I can show you super quickly, although back over here there's a really cool sculpture. Oops, you can't see me, sorry. Really cool sculpture here right by Santi, and I talked about this once before on a Facebook Live. You see this night, we're trying to keep social distance, but you could zoom in on that dark head. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Santi. It's really neat because Umlauf is actually from Chicago, and he didn't even get to Austin until he was 31 years old, so he had quite a career. He went to the Art Institute of Chicago, and he worked for some very famous traditional Renaissance-style Chicago sculptors. And one of the things that they taught him, since he didn't have a lot of money to work in bronze, they taught him how to paint plaster sculptures to look like bronze so that he could show potential buyers what it actually looked like. And he did this beautiful head, he probably did it in the 40s after he got to UT, but he came here in 1941, but he knew this style. He knew how to paint it so it would have the patina of bronze. And that's why we deliberately put it right behind you, two beautiful heads right next to each other with beautiful music, because it's such a wonderful piece. And you can see all the other pieces that most of these are very early that have been behind Santi the whole time that are here in the Umlauf studio. Oh. Yeah, we did great. I think, are we good to do one more song? I think we are. Sure. I think we are. We can do one more song. And finally, thank you to everybody. This would not be possible without your donations. Thank you, Alex. Truly, please donate to our fabulous musician. Donate to the Umlauf. Any small amount that you give will really help us out a lot, and we'd love to bring you more programming like this. So finally, truly closing out, an encore presentation by Daphne Tunes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Just got to reset up here. This song's called Funny How. Well, let's make sure we're comfortable here, aren't we?
We still toast our bread on least once. I check in before bedtime, sink while staring wide-eyed, basking in the good times. But baby, what happened to it? Seems I'm always a risk. Funny how you talk about your feelings as if you mean them. Days like these, we sure seem different, at least in our opinions. By God, I'm having a blast now. I'm acting less savage, standing with my neck out, catching all the damage. Round the world, a trip I'm packing. I won't forget a single thing. A list of wild items, like all the things I'm hiding from. Baby, what happened to this? Seems I'm always a risk. Funny how you talk about your feelings as if you mean them. Days like these, we sure seem kinda different, at least our opinions. It's just our opinions.
Thanks again, everyone. Y'all have a safe night. Stay healthy.